Hi guys, welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This once again is your host Iggy, and tonight I'm going to talk about some Star Wars things that survived the Great Purge. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you've heard me refer to the Great Purge a number of times. And for those of you that are new to the channel, the Great Purge refers to when I got fired from my job and after 8 years of service because of a girl, and I had to sell off my beloved collectibles. So I sold off all my vintage Star Wars and half of my newer Star Wars collection. However, I'm very surprised to find that I still have a considerable amount of things left to share with you. And what you see here displayed on my bed, oddly enough, because the kitchen is full of boxes, is some of the remaining pieces of that collection. Now, I've already showed you a Hoth Battle playset. I had mentioned, I think, at that time that I had two. Well, this is playset number two. And I believe I got this one on clearance, which is indicated right here. And I got it for $4.54. My other one that I have like this, I think I spent $30 on it. So I guess cost averaging it, I guess it works out okay. So I basically spent about $10 each when you put the two together like that. Now, this is something I'm glad that, let me adjust my leg here. It's falling asleep. I'm sitting in a chair next to the bed. You see, I'm in my bedroom here. Look at all these stormtroopers that managed to escape. So let's dump them out and take a look at them. Now, according to, oh, you know what? These are not Kenner. These were figures that I purchased at Disneyland. And you can tell the difference between these and the Kenner figures because they have this, their helmet is, for reasons I don't know, maybe to distinguish it from the Kenner one, they painted the top of his helmet gray. Anyway, I've got how many of these? One, two, three. Oh, God, this foot got stuck and dragged them all over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of these. Because each time that I went to Disneyland, I would buy, like 3 or 4 of them. My ex-wife and I would go to Disneyland every year, and sometimes several times a year. And I would purchase these at that time. So what I plan to do with these is paint the tops of their heads white to match the Kenner figures. Now, these speeder bikes, I thought I sold those, but apparently I had more than 2 speeder bikes. And so these I kept. Those were, oddly enough, those were extremely hard to come by back in the day. And I finally found my first ones when I went to go see the movie Titanic with my nephew and niece and my brother. We all went to see Titanic, and when we got out of the theater, which was in a shopping area, there was a guy that had set up a small wagon, and he had all Star Wars collectibles on sale, and he had these. And so I bought them, although I think I paid double what the regular retail would have been. And then, to my chagrin, later these became more common to find, and so I spent a lot of money for the privilege of having these maybe a couple months before everyone else, which is not smart, but there you go. Iggy's not the brightest bulb. So let's take a look at some more things. These are red card Star Wars figures, and that's of a Imperial pilot, TIE fighter pilot, and of a stormtrooper. I think I have 40 stormtroopers. That's, from Kenner Hasbro. Now, this figure over here is something that never caught on with Star Wars fans. They clearanced them pretty quickly. And I used to have sorry, my hands are shaking. I used to have a Boba Fett and a Luke Skywalker in this. And I sold those at the flea market and kept this one. And what was kind of fun about these is that you could spin them. They're on a base, which you can see here. And by manipulating this dial, you can turn them. You are a spy and a member of the Rebel Alliance. Take her away. Thanks, Darth Daddy. I guess that really is her daddy. Anyway, we found that out later. So that's kind of a cool feature, but like I said, it never caught on. And before you know it, these were being sold for like $4. Okay. Now here's some more figures in a bag. Let me see if I can open this. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, it's like I'm in a car accident here. And we don't need this 8 times. There we go. Sorry. What do we have here? Here I have Biker Scout and a Snow Trooper with removable helmet. I don't remember buying this. He's actually got a cloth skirt here. It's weird. I don't remember him. And here's a regular stormtrooper. Does his head come off? No. And another Biker Scout. And I have no idea what this is, but it's probably from one of these guys. And this is from the Death Star. And I think he was one of the guys that investigated the Millennium Falcon. So he's a pretty cool figure. All right, let me adjust my seat again because I'm leaning back too far. I can't reach this stuff up here. Okay, now that is a mystery because I already showed you my Darth Vader helmet, and when I opened the tub, I go, wait a minute, here's another Darth Vader helmet. Why do I have 2 of these? So I used to work at Barnes & Noble, and I put on a show for the kids, and this was before episode 1 came out. And it was the biggest success that we had at the store for selling books. The kids went crazy when I walked out of the backstock room, and I had the cape and everything. And my brother made the chest piece for me. And see the control panel? My brother made that for me too. And I'm always amazed at all the projects that my brother did for me without complaining, without compensation, financial compensation. Well, I did take him to In-N-Out hamburgers as a reward, but that hardly was reimbursing him for all the time and effort he would put in these things. But let me see if without turning off my phone, if I can show you an up close of this thing, because he made this. And that's pretty amazing. Did he make this or did I buy this? Because I think at one point you could buy this. And my brother made one for me. And this is the one that you could buy. Okay, never mind, guys. False alarm. But my brother did make me one that looked just like that. I wish I had it, but I probably threw it out. Sorry, Ron. Okay, so I showed you this guy. Now let's take a look at this guy over here. Now this is a really deluxe Darth Vader. And this is the only one of this group that I purchased. Now it's easy to get this confused with others because it's called Unleashed. Star Wars Unleashed. Well, they also made like Army Man size figures called Star Wars Unleashed. And I can't wait to show you those. I haven't found them yet, but I have all these different figures from that Unleashed line, which is sort of a 54 millimeter size. And they're like classic Army men, but Star Wars. And I'm really very fond of them. And I got most of them on clearance. But it is easy to get this line confused with the other. Check this out, guys. It's a very dynamic pose. Very cool. I like this quite well. So what I can do when I finally move is display all my various sized Darth Vaders. I could put the helmet up on a shelf and put this and a smaller, one about that size Darth Vader. All right, so we looked at, what else do I got here? Whoa, my belly is too big. I got a blaster. Now I'm going to paint this. They made it white because they don't want police officers to confuse this with a real weapon of some sort. It looks like a sawed-off MG 42. The battery is almost dead on it. So eventually I'll paint this, and I'll try not to take it outside. I don't want to be shot by the police who are, if I was a police officer and I saw someone walking around with something that looked real, I'd be concerned. I might not ask any questions because you only get seconds to decide if someone is a threat or not. And those seconds can determine if you're going to go home that night or if you're going to have a funeral. Okay, next up is a TIE fighter and a TIE interceptor. Now, I've already showed you one of these TIE fighters because I have two of them. This is the second one, but I only have one of the TIE intercept. You know what? I'm going to have to stand up because this chair is not allowing me to lean backwards very well. Let's see if I can reach it. Well, no, that's not going to happen. All right, so what is in here? Oh, that was these. Once these are painted, they'll work very well with these here. My ambition, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but my ambition is to recreate the scene where the Emperor arrives on the second battle station. Fully operational Death Star. Your friends are going into a trap. I can't do the Emperor, sorry. What was I saying before I gave you such a bad imitation? Your pathetic rebellion shall be crushed, and young Skywalker will join you by my side. That was a little better, but still not there. Okay, what was I saying, for Pete's sake? Pete was my grandfather, by the way. I shouldn't say that like that. Oh, let's take a look at this TIE Interceptor. I only have one. I only purchased one of these because at the time they were kind of pricey. And this is hard to do one-handed. And that's the TIE Interceptor. That's from Return of the Jedi. It comes with a pilot, which is nice. All right. And let's get this. This also comes with a pilot. So let me sit back down again, guys. Here we go. All right, so there's, let me turn off the flashlight because it's reflecting. Oh, now you can't, can you still see it? No. All right, maybe if I put the light up here. There's the TIE fighter pilot. It's a traditional TIE fighter like you saw in the first Star Wars movie. Episode 4, I guess now is it called. And this figure, of course, fits inside the eyeball. And the panels can be, you press a button and then they fly off. And I think the same is true of the TIE Interceptor. It's virtually the same. It's a flying eyeball. However, it's got pointed panels on the side instead of flat ones like that. And he also comes with a pilot. And if I remember right, this was kind of expensive. So that's probably why I only bought one, because at the time that this came out, I think I was starting to cut back on spending. This one here, KB Toys, $30. That's not cheap when you're a minimum wage stooge like I am. Buying all these things was kind of, well, actually was not very smart, tell you the truth. But, you know, hindsight is a wonderful thing. So there, we got that. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this one. I have found more Star Wars when I was going through my storage space a few days ago. I guess a week ago. Wednesday. I'm not sure when it was, to tell you the truth. But I found more. So you could say I struck a vein in the storage cave. And I'll be showing you those soon. And for you guys that are Toy Soldier and G.I. Joe guys, don't worry, I haven't given up on you. I'll be showing you some videos. And I also I found a tub filled with Indiana Jones figures. And you know what, I mentioned in my last video that I found those, and I'm nervous about the new movie. And I guess they said that the critics are saying it's gone woke. And I don't know why they insist on doing that, because, like, if you're a fan of James Bond, you expect James Bond to be a certain thing, which is a misogynist, sexist, a guy who kills foreigners on a whim. And you expect him to be pro-English and pro-British Empire, and you don't expect him to be sensitive and kind and considerate. That's not James Bond. And he's not a woman. The last James Bond movie, they have this woman in there smart-mouthing James Bond. And I was saying, if it was Sean Connery, he would have slapped her. And that's what they should have put in the movie. All right, I'm getting a little irritated. You can tell I'm getting fidgety. My blood sugar is also kind of low, so maybe I should take care of that. So that's it. I love Indiana Jones, but I think the new movie will be the final one in the series because of Harrison Ford's age. He's 80 years old, which that doesn't bother me because he's in excellent condition, much better condition than I am. But they want to make it woke. They want him to be subservient to a woman. And I'm sure there's some of you out there who like that idea. I do not. That is what is now known as a simp. And Indiana Jones is not a simp. So I'm done speechifying, and I'm probably going to lose 3 or 4, maybe a dozen more subscribers. Maybe they'll just cancel me. I don't know. Life is very difficult for senior citizens like me because everything is changing so rapidly, and I just don't fit in anymore. I mean, my heroes are now villains according to this new group of people, and who I am, I'm a villain now according to these people. And my love of America is considered insulting now. So the good thing about aging is that you'll die before it gets too bad. So anyway, perhaps I shouldn't have gone down that road. And probably lose a lot of subscribers. But, if you're not interested in these toys, then you're just not interested. Okay, this is Iggy. And I want to thank you for those of you who joined the Iggy Army. I want to thank you for getting Iggy with it. I'm sorry that I got a little Iggy with you, or Iggly instead of ugly. I got Iggly instead of ugly, or ugly Iggly. But I appreciate you guys coming along and indulging me while I shared these Star Wars things with you, because I know some of you don't care for this too much. You prefer the toy soldiers. I like toy soldiers. I like Star Trek. I like Star Wars. I like Indiana Jones. I don't have any James Bond collectibles, but I wish I did, because he's another of my cultural heroes. The name is Bond. James Bond. I hope you don't expect me to talk, Goldfinger. No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to say goodbye.